Okay, hello everybody. Today we're going to be installing a reclaimed wood backsplash set in a mosaic pattern. This stuff comes from old Chinese fishing boats, and they mill them and then turn them into little tiles here, and you lay them. They're on the same kind of pattern as like a glass mosaic. The difference in this product is, being wood, as I started doing research, being a relatively new product, I've discovered that there's no information on Google or on YouTube, any videos or anything relating to the installation and tips and techniques in doing it. In fact, the flooring company that sold it to my client said that they were anxious to see what it looked like and how to go about installing it, because none of the installers nor they know how to do it. So I did some research, come up with a few things on my own. One thing that I'm going to be doing is I constructed a slide for my table saw. I'll be showing you that later. There's quite a bit of activity going on outside that would be distracting and loud. So I'll show you that later, but it's a basic woodworking slide. I'm going to use it to just protect myself and the safety and give good cuts on the tile, because using a tile saw, it's you have to go really out of your way to hurt yourself. But with a table saw, which is what I'm going to be using with a fine finish blade, we're going to end up, I have to take precautions and make sure I'm cutting it right. So anyway, this backsplash is going to follow this, go up between the walls and the cabinets just a few inches down through here, back behind the range. We're going to take it up through there. So a few little challenges that I have. One is the cutting of it. Two, this is a natural wood slab. This is not engineered. This is a natural planed countertop that was finished, and so real nice slick finish on it. But the problem with that being a natural piece, while it's relatively level, there are valleys and dips in it from the natural wood grain and the movement in that. So in order to keep a really tight seam on this, I'm going to have a few little complications to overcome. Second off, this is raw wood when it comes. This has already been treated with a water-based polyurethane before it goes on in a just a satin finish. It really brings the colors out on the wood, and it's going to protect it from the adhesive. Once it's in place, I will actually go back over it and put another coat on it. Couple of techniques that I'm using from regular tile installation is, when you're putting glass mosaics in, you can sometimes cheat if it starts sliding on you and insert nails or screws through the grid to kind of hold it in place, maybe here and here till the thin set sets up. Well, with this, since it's wood, obviously we can't do that, and there's no grout lines to use for that purpose. So what I'm going to do is, if I come across that problem, just use a cordless finish nailer, tack it into place, and then once I'm done, before my final coat of poly, I'll custom mix some wood fill to match the color of the tile, fill it in, and then seal it. These tiles are actually really fragile. They fall apart really easy off the mesh, which surprises me for the cost of them. But once the poly was on there, it helped to create a few little tack joints between all the individual tile and has made it just a little bit stiffer. So, last thing, instead of using a thin set, you actually have to use like an engineered wood flooring adhesive, something with low moisture content. And so basically what you're doing is you're installing wood flooring on a wall, which is pretty interesting. I'm excited about the project. Once again, I'll post a little bit more when I do the I'll install some, and then when it slows down outside, I'll actually show you how I'm going about cutting it and that nature, and then we'll see some mid progress and the finished product. So thanks, and stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. It's been a couple of hours. I've got my bottom row set, going through it. Turns out the installation was relatively simple. It's definitely not for a do-it-yourselfer. It's a professional job, simply because the adhesive sets up very, very quickly, so you don't have a lot of time to play. And the other thing, the nail gun idea that I had to use to hold it became a non-issue. There was only one place where I thought I might use it, but it's fractured the individual tile, so that's a no-go. But luckily, the adhesive you put it on with, sorry, the glare there, the adhesive that you put it on with has very little play in it and ends up sticking real well. There was some movement here. There was a crown right at the base where this kind of swelled that I had to custom cut the tile there to make it fit to keep my top edge straight. So yeah, overall I'm very pleased with the installation of it. It's a different challenge, but it looks pretty good so far. So I'll be back in a few and I'll show you how to cut the tile, because I'm about to start doing all my cut runs up here to get it to the level that the under the cabinetry and the level that the homeowner would like it. So be back in a few. Thanks. Okay, as promised, I'm here to show you guys how to, the jig that I created to cut tile with. I have to cut a sliver for under the thing there. This is a DeWalt 10-inch portable, you know, just regular saw. But I built a sled like a woodworker would use. Got grooves to hit the channels in there. There's one, and shadows, you can see that one right there. They fit down in the groove, and the saw blade passes through there. I've got the depth set where it'll go through the 3/4 inch MDF, and it'll go through the tile. And then what I'm doing to prevent blowout is I've got another piece that I constructed that just simply goes in over the top like this right here. That way I can push down, put downward pressure. I don't have to worry about cutting my hand. The only dangerous spot is obviously don't put your thumb there, or the blade would end up coming through and hitting you. But for what I'm doing and making skinny cuts here, this works out perfect. It's been working great all day. So that's one of the secrets that I figured out. That's been the most helpful thing, just devising us, go ahead and taking the time to build a sled for this table saw. And I'll show you the end result after I'm done cutting, because I don't have anybody to hold the camera. Okay, using that method, that's what I'm ending up with. So see, you're able to get real nice close cuts on that tile, and it keeps them from blowing and flying off the paper by putting that top board on top of it. So great tool, and that's been the secret to getting the good clean cuts. So using a finish blade, you know, on the saw. So alright, I'll be back to show you the finished product here in just a little while. Okay, here we are, about, let's see, 7 hours later, and we've got it. Just got the second coat of poly on it, and got all the electrical covers on, except for one that the got lost or didn't get purchased by the contractor. But anyway, turned out really well. Looks very nice. It'll be trimmed up on the top here to the left and the right of the sink by some additional wood trim that corresponds with the window opening and the lighting. So that's a non-finished edge there, but it doesn't pertain to me. So it'll be finished probably tomorrow's when that'll be trimmed out and stained. So anyway, you don't have to use polyurethane on this tile. This is the receptacle that's not in. You don't have to use polyurethane on the tile. I think on the board that came from the flooring store, that actually had a tung oil finish on it, but the homeowner preferred that we put some sort of polyurethane due to the area that it's being used in, the kitchen, and there's grandchildren and stuff, something that'll protect, because this is wood and it's untreated wood when it comes to you, so it is very porous and will receive anything. But looks very nice. The real trick to the installation is making that jig for your table saw like we discussed. And really, if you don't know what you're doing, hire somebody to do it that does. it lends itself more towards carpentry than it does tile work. So if your tile guy is not comfortable or doesn't have the tools to do carpentry work, this would actually be probably a closer job for, say, a trim carpenter or someone like myself that can do various number of things. But ended up looking very nice, and I'm glad you watched the video, and I hope this helps if you have one of these projects too. And I'll swing back here so you can see the whole kitchen. Looks really good, finished out nice.